This was the hardest thing I've ever done. Well, actually not. Convincing my daughter to go to bed is much, much harder. I'm Anastasia, and here are my partners in crime, Shrikant and Daria. Last year, we sold and gave away almost everything we owned, packed our most cherished possessions in just 6 suitcases, and moved to India. This video is not about minimalism. It's about taking bold decisions, following your heart, and learning the pain and joy of letting go. So, let me tell you my story. In 2021, we made a firm decision to leave Germany, where I spent 10 years of my life. This decision took our families and friends by surprise. In Germany, we had a well-established life. I ran a fast-growing online business. Shrikant, my husband, had a stable job, as well as the time to work for our own company. Our daughter went to childcare, we had family insurance and retirement fund set. Our life was safe and measured. After all, we lived in the country which has one of the best reputations in the world, and an 18 months parental leave. Yet, we were living. For us, this decision wasn't sudden. In fact, 1 year prior to it, we spent some time in coastal India trying to find a perfect place for our family and almost bought a coffee plantation. We thought at that time that we'd move eventually, one day, someday, in future. Life in Germany was comfortable and predictable. And once you get comfortable, your brain starts protecting this comfort and finding millions of reasons why you shouldn't change anything in your life at all. It was the year of pandemic that changed it all overnight for us. It showed us that there was no time and no reason to postpone our life. If you know that you want to do something, then just do it. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't spend a single day on not living your own life and giving your dreams away to fears. Long story short, we realized that we were drifting further and further away from the way we truly wanted to live our life, and something drastic had to be done. By the way, if you really want to know the reasons why we left Germany after 10 years, drop me a short note in the comments and I'll make a video about it. So, in winter, Shrikant officially quit his day job and we started preparing. Friends, if you want to understand how much useless trash we accumulate throughout our life, just move countries. I'll tell you, dissolving a household, especially when you have kids, might be one of the hardest things to do. And all those things that we had were only accumulated in 6 years of our life as a family. You see, in Germany, you rent empty apartments. Sometimes even the kitchen would be empty. If you come as a foreigner, you build your nest completely from scratch. So every single thing, every tiny detail has to be bought and built, from dining tables to toilet paper holders. Now, when you leave an apartment, it has to be left completely empty, just the way you got it. For us, the other layer of complication was our cooking studio. We ran an online cooking school and a YouTube channel, so it was a fully built studio to shoot our cooking videos and run online cooking classes. Dissolving it made our hearts bleed. There was no way we could take with us the collection of 200 spices and all the fragile handmade pots and kitchen accessories. These were actually the things we didn't sell. And this was my great revelation. The things to which I felt attached in any way, I just couldn't sell them. They had to go to people who I knew would love them, enjoy them, and take care of them. So all these dear to heart items went to our friends, as if they were living beings or our pets. It made me feel how much of personal energy actually goes to objects. First obtaining them, then caring for them, then getting attached to them in the process, and finally letting go of them. The whole concept and purpose of minimalism became crystal clear to me at that point. You just don't want to waste your precious life, energy, and personal time on stuff. You could spend it on hugs and naps instead. But then, isn't healthy attachment a part of human experience? Well, as you see, even after 1 year, I still have more open questions than answers. But letting so many hand-picked items go did hurt. So you'll think my main conclusion was to own less? Nope, main conclusion was not to move countries anymore. Well, let this video serve me as a reminder when I decide to shift the location next time. We were moving from a German city life to an Indian village life, so transporting all the things just didn't make sense. The environment would be different, the lifestyle would be different, completely different. Well, frankly, we didn't even know what our new lifestyle would look like and what kind of house we would stay in. So we decided that we take only things that were extremely functional or very dear to us. First things that we packed were our equipment. Cameras, laptops, tripods, mics. After all, it was our bread and butter. Then came kitchen equipment, blender, gadgets, knives, pots. Yes, we are the kind of people who travel with their own pressure cooker. And if you knew my husband Shrikant, you honestly wouldn't be surprised why. Third came souvenirs and gifts, those material memories that we collected from different corners of the world or that we got from our friends. And I should tell you that out of everything we actually took, now, 1 year later, these things give me the biggest joy. They just make our home a home. A hand-painted matryoshka set that my mom gifted to Shrikant the first time she met him, the little elephants that we got on a romantic trip in Cape Town, Saraswati idol, the goddess of creativity and education, a unique piece that we hunted down in Bangalore. And this was another revelation for me, as I always thought of souvenirs as useless. But if you really love the sight of them, and if they carry a certain emotion, they're actually worthy of keeping for life and even passing down the generations, perhaps. All the furniture pieces had to be sold, one by one, and many of them we simply gave away. Same happened with my daughter's toys, as she mostly grew out of them. This, I thought, would be a difficult one, because how do you explain the disappearance of toys to a 3-year-old? Yet the promise of new toys instead was enough, and only few special gifts were packed in a tiny tiger suitcase. Clothes, almost entirely, were donated or discarded. They just didn't fit the future weather conditions. Books also had to go, and that was actually a hard part. We're a family of avid readers, and we formed a nice library of books in 3 languages, some of which were not even read yet. Most of them were gifted to friends, and the most rare editions were packed in boxes to be shipped separately. Well, it's been a year, and frankly speaking, they're still not shipped. Have we learned the lesson? 87 books on my daughter's shelves, and new Ayn Rand collection suggest otherwise. Though I do use my Kindle significantly more nowadays. Once we packed everything, we realized that we forgot one category of things: documents. You see, there is a legal rule in Germany that you have to keep hard copies of all documents, including your bank statements, all bank statements, for 10 years. As I was also having a company, we had an insane amount of papers. Here, friends came to rescue and they stored a big chunk of our papers, and still one whole small suitcases had to go to papers only. Frankly, after this move, you won't find a better promoter of digitalization than me. When all the heavy lifting was done, we ended up with 6 suitcases, a small dose of regrets, a bunch of sweet memories, and a solid back pain. Because getting rid of all the trash is no joke, friends. And just like that, we let everything go. Along with the chairs, plates, and winter jackets, we also, without realizing, were shedding the layers of our identity and of our past. Because if you want new things, a new life to come in, you have to make space for it. And if there is just one thing that we learned from this move, we are not moving any time again soon. I'll see you in the next video.